Hello everyone, my name is Muhammad Ihsan Hilmi. With my friends Tiara Yusti and Reyhan Praditya, we would like to tell you about how computer works. Talking about computers. Computers nowadays are literally everywhere. You can find it far above the sky, in plane or aircraft, until your home, which is what device are you using right now to watch this video. But here comes the question. How does computers do their job? Well, this comes from the main principle of how computer works, which is input, store and process, and output data.
Hi, my name is Tiara Yusti and here I will explain about input, store, process, and output. We've always built tools to help us solve problems. Computer had to perform 4 different things. It will need to take input, store information, process it, and then output the result. This might sound simple, but these 4 things are common to all computers. The earliest computers were made out of wood and metal with mechanical levers and gears. By the 20th century though, computers started using electrical components. These early computers were really large and really slow. Computers started out as basic calculators and they were only manipulating numbers back then. But now, we can use them for things that we could only imagine. Modern computer is completely different now, but they still do the same 4 things. First, we're gonna talk about input. Input is the stuff that you do that make the computer do stuff. All these different input give the computer information, which is then stored in memory. Computer's processor take information from memory. It manipulate it or change it using algorithm, which is just a series of commands. And then it sends the process information back to be stored in memory again. This continues until the process information is ready to be output. Output is an information that is processed by and sent out from a computer or other electronic device. Next, I will explain about hardware and software. Hardware is the machine, wiring, and other physical components of a computer or other electronic system. And software is all of the computer programs or code running on this machine. Let's start at looking at Computer Central Process Unit or CPU. The CPU is the master chip that controls all the other part of the computer. CPU needs to do different things, so inside it has smaller and simpler parts that handles specific tasks. The CPU receives simple commands and tell it which circuits to use to do a specific job. The binary commands are stored in memory and the CPU fetch and execute them in sequence one after the other. This sequence of commands is in fact the very simple computer programs. Binary code is the most basic form of software and it controls all the hardware of a computer. Software tell the CPU what to do. The operating system of computer is the master program that manages how software gets to use the hardware of the computer. The operating system is a program with special abilities that let it control the other software on the computer. Inside every computer is an operating system managing software that controls the computer's hardware. The software is a series of commands made of simple binary code, and that binary code is just electrical signal flowing through billions of tiny circuits. Okay, so that's all. The next material is about binary and data will be explained by the next presenter.
Now you know that computers do their job by working on data. But how does they do that actually? Well, first they convert the information into binaries. In binary number system, Number which numbers which is usually we use is decimals are converted first into binary. It is a number which contains only 1 or 0. By converting them into 1 or 0, computer can save them into memories. So, numbers are actually saved by converting them first into binaries. But how about text? How about image? How about sound? They are actually same too. They are converted into numbers and binaries. Text is converted into numbers by dividing them one by one, checking their characters, and using guideline, which is SG table. By converting them into numbers, a computer can save text in a binary, in binary form. Image is actually just a bunch of pixels or small boxes, and the boxes it contains colors. The information of the colors of the box is converted into numbers, and then it converted into the binary, then save it into computer. While sound is actually saved by using by recording the voltage change when you speak. So when you speak into speakers, your speakers records the voltage change in the sound, and that records are converted into numbers. After that, it will be converted into binary and be saved. But how about video? Well, we can just say it's just image and sounds.
Then we will discuss about the circuit. Each input and output received and used is an information which is represented by an electrical on and off electrical signal, or symbol 1 for on and 0 for off. In order to process incoming and outgoing information, the computer must modify the input signal. Therefore, computer need the help of millions of very small electronic components. These components are put together and form a circuit. The circuit works due to logic gates. As we know, there are many kinds of logic gates. The example is like a logic gate block. This input can only accept one input that works as a signal modifier. For example, if the input is 1, then the output is 0, and vice versa. Another example of a logic gate is a logic gate AND. This logic can accept two inputs which function to combine input by multiplying. Or another explanation is that if the input has 0 input, then the result will be 0. This circuit will give an output of 1 if the first and second input signal are 1. There are many other small circuits, and if the circuits are connected, they will create even more complicated circuit with even more complicated calculation. For example, is other 8-bit. Back to the past, the circuits that we know today are mostly small, in contrast to the circuit in the past, which were large and heavy, and can only do simple calculation. Then, why the circuit is now made to be small? Because the smaller the circuit, the shorter the distance the electrical signal must travel. That's why modern circuit can do billions of calculations per second. So, if you do various modern activities such as playing games, recording videos, or saying the size of the sky, in essence things, you do with technology requires information to be processed very quickly. Behind all that, there is a very small circuit which should turn complex things like banner signal into amazing. So, what do you guys want with all this circuit?
So, that is all from us about how computer works. Thank you for watching. See you later.